Welcome, everybody, to the Analyst Desk. It is I, Jake Moore, the self-proclaimed sports analyst, and today I have Mr. Moore for your money.
Woo!
Who did not set the right microphone. I could tell by that little peak. So while Dan fixes his mic, we're going to hit a couple comments here right off the hippity-hop, hip-hop, you know.
Okay, here we go.
That's much better. Now,
the mic was on.
Remember, everybody, let's keep the conversation respectful. Share your thoughts, debates, and hot takes. Just no personal attacks and no negativity towards others in the chat. We're here to enjoy the game together. Every day feels like game day here at the Analyst Desk. Now let's get right into a comment from Key. I'm repeating what I texted Jacob. It's so fitting that your logo has a Christmas hat on because anytime you guys are doing a live show during the holidays, Christmas comes early. Let's go.
Right.
Thank you very much, Pete. If you haven't seen our holiday logo yet, then you need to head over to our social media and you can see that holiday logo.
It looks sweet.
Now, I have already figured out a new background for a new thing for Leaf fans. That game was part of the Gong Show.
It was, yes.
And I think maybe the ACC needed a little more.
Yeah, I think
in the rink. Like, first of all, I do want to say, and we got a lot to get into. We got to talk about a big Habs game today. Who didn't get a win, but still another point, which is certainly going to help them on their playoff race.
Huge. Yep.
Look, you look at Toronto. The team just looked flat. They looked flat. In my opinion, they looked flat the entire game.
100%.
I mean, people are going to blame Dennis Hildeby, and I don't think this game's on Dennis Hildeby whatsoever. I thought Hildeby played pretty well.
I
think that was a mercy pull.
Yeah, I think so too. I
mean, you need more from your top six. You need more from Craig Berube, who just looks like the mad step-parent when their 12-year-old stepson won't go to their room after they eat too many pancakes. Like, something's got to give. I don't know. Whenever a player like Max Domi's playing hopeless, they just decide to give him more minutes. I don't understand Berube's obsession with everyone says Matthews' point totals are down. Well, Max Domi, I think, is a third-line player at best. I think Matthew Nyes needs to be with players that are up to his skill level as well. And, I mean, we did see tonight again that, you know, Matthews and Nylander are not McDavid and Draisaitl level. But there's no other way you can... Dan, how can you watch that game and feel like, I know you're a big Nylander fan.
Oh, yes.
I know, like, you would love to wake up to him snuggled with you in your bed. Give you a little wake-up kiss on the forehead. I'm just kidding.
We'll take the subway together.
But Dan, you can't say after watching this game that you feel Nylander and McDavid are on the same level, because they're just not.
I totally agree with you. I'm not saying that they are on the same level. I think... I'll be saying forever. Everyone's saying Austin Matthews is this captain franchise player. I've been calling BS, and I was right again tonight. And you look at William Nylander. I think William Nylander is a franchise player, but William Nylander is a franchise offensive player. That's it. He's not. We keep trying to make him play defense. It's like asking Alexander Ovechkin a back check, right?
Yeah, but he did back check. He did back check with Barry Trotz, Dan, and then he won a cup.
I get that. I'm just saying, right? It's like, you know, Nylander and Matthews are unfortunately not on the same level as McDavid and Draisaitl.
Now, mind you, nobody is. I don't think this is
not just those two. Let's just call it as it is. The whole team played really bad tonight. Morgan Rielly, I love you, dude. You had a horrible game. John Tavares looked great in the first period, and then really died off.
He did have a breakaway and then passed it to the other team.
Funny enough, I said in our last episode with Mr. Dasco, because we were talking how great Troy Stester has been playing. I thought, it's been really cute. I don't know how he can do it for the full 80 games. And here we are. Today, he played pathetic. He looked like an AHL defenseman tonight. He was.
I don't agree with you there. Actually, I don't think Stetcher. I thought
he scored on his own net, blow. He was
He also saved a couple goals defensively. I thought Stetcher had a real up and down game. But let's get into some comments here. Speaking of the Habs, I would almost cry as a child screaming, asking, "Why are they smiling horseshoe?" Well, you know what? Better than being a sad horseshoe.
That's true.
We'll say that. But the problem is, Dan, and look, I'm going to call you out a little bit here. So how much does Austin Matthews get paid?
Well, Troy Stecher was a plus one. My bad.
Let me finish. How much does Austin Matthews get paid?
Oh, I don't know, $13 million.
How much does William Nylander get paid?
$11.5 million.
How much does Max Domi get paid?
$3.5 million.
How much does John Tavares get paid?
$4.4 million at the moment.
How much does Matthew Nyes get paid?
$7.75.
How much does Morgan Riley get paid?
$7.5.
How much does Jake McCabe get paid?
$4.5.
How much does OEL get paid, who also basically scored on his own net tonight?
He gets score on his own on the Edmonton's net too, but $4 million.
Troy Stecher also had an assist, so that equals out the same amount of production produced.
No, sorry, 3.5.
How much does Troy Stecher get paid?
League minimum.
There's your problem. You are blaming a league minimum guy. Excuse me, who's been playing very well for you all year. It's like I've already seen comments saying clearly Hildeby's not the guy. I'm seeing that.
I'm not blaming the whole game on Troy Stecher. You're putting words in my mouth.
You're not letting me finish.
But this is the main
reason why the Leafs, and I hate to say it, the fan base as well, we never really get there because we constantly are blaming the wrong guys. You are looking. Max Domi, I'm sorry, right now is playing. You talk about, Dan, hold on. Max Domi, you're talking about a guy that's an AHL player. I think Max Domi is a ECHL player. Did you not see the third goal that Edmonton scored where Domi didn't cover the pass, he didn't cover the shot, he just flamingoed in front of Hildeby so he can't even see where the pass is going. This guy is completely useless. He isn't hitting, he isn't hitting, he isn't chirping. He took a high sticking penalty while we had the puck.
Yeah, that's a talent.
This guy is by far the worst player on this team. So what does Craig Berube do? The big, mean, tough coach. I'm going to get you. I'm going to put William Nylander on the third line. Domi, you're going to stay on the top line, bud, so you can continue to drag Matthews and Nyes. He can't even keep up with them.
What I wanted to say, playoffs are done. Yeah,
I still believe this team will make the playoffs and then break our heart in the first round. That's the Toronto Maple Leaf tradition.
I just want
the Leafs are currently 2 points out of a playoff spot.
I just wanted to say I'm not blaming this game on Troy Stecher for 1 minute. I'm not. I didn't even want to blame this game on Dennis Hildeby. Hildeby was put in a situation he was not expected to put into, and he's played incredible up to this point. I'm not even blaming him. What I'm saying, though, is the comments like what you said, Jacob, the past couple weeks now. Oh, you got Troy Stecher for nothing. He's a league minimum. You can get rid of someone like Brandon Carlo, free up $5 million in cap space to get a top six floor because of Troy Stecher.
Yes, you
and
can.
I call BS on that because of a game like tonight.
Okay, Dan, let's do a little game called How to Read Numbers.
I get it on the numbers.
No.
Stecher has better numbers than Carlo. I'm not disputing that, but he wants to play on the ice tonight. You can't trade
Brandon Carlo. Brandon Carlo in 18 games is a +2 with 2 assists.
Correct.
That is it.
Yep.
Would you call that a $5 million caliber defenseman?
No.
Now, let's do the same game with Stecher.
I know he's got more points and he's a higher plus minus. I get it. I'm just saying you looked at him tonight. Troy Stecher is one reason why.
So Troy Stecher in 18 games has 1 goal, 5 assists, 6 points, and a +8. Sorry, and a +9. Troy Stecher in his last 5, even tonight, with scoring on his own net, he was still a plus player.
Yeah.
In a game you allowed 6 goals, Troy Stecher was a plus player. Troy Stecher has been either plus or better for the majority of his career, even at Edmonton.
Mm-hmm.
He was a +4 in Edmonton 23-24. Okay, it was a -2 last year in Edmonton, but considering they had OHL goaltending, that's fair. He was a +5 in Arizona. Like again, am I saying Troy Stecher is the greatest defenseman to ever touch ice? No, but do I feel that Troy Stecher has been playing 20 minutes a game as a Leaf so far, and he has been arguably this team's best defenseman? So I
get that. My $1 million
instead, but Dan, you're saying, and I agree with the comments here, Max Domi is useless. So if Max Domi is useless and you need to replace Max Domi and you need to get a top 6 forward, you have to look. Where can you move a piece to bring in a bigger piece that will help your team more? Look at Edmonton. Whether you agree with the trade or not, they knew the only way to get another goalie was to trade their goalie. They knew that was their only option. They traded their goalie to get a goalie that they hope will improve their team. Will Tristan Jarry improve the team? I still think time will tell. I thought Jarry today just looked okay.
Yeah. I mean, I would move Kalianklo and Machelli to get a top 6 defenseman. I mean,
okay, forward. But Dan, no one is going to give you a top 6 defenseman for 2 players who barely make the lineup.
Why? According to you, those players are fantastic.
Do I honestly, I would rather see Marcelli or Yarncroke on the top line right now over Max Domi.
Oh, come on.
I would. Marcelli has had a better year than Domi.
Boo.
And someone is, apparently the desk is commenting on the desk today saying, Jacob, get that racket ready. I think that was Lane, because Lane's also saying, Jacob, get that racket ready.
Yeah. And we saw a comment of
Leafs should put a claim on, I'm not too familiar with this gentleman.
Lucas.
But, and true, you're right. Troy Stetcher did get a goal. Dumba is too much on waivers. Yeah, I think Dumba, I don't really see how Dumba fixes anything.
I think Dumba would be great at this, and I really do.
No, you're just bringing in another defenseman that you don't need.
I like Dumba.
John Cena's retirement was way better than the Leafs being mediocre. Well, I'm glad someone enjoyed watching something tonight, Mr. Dashko. Adam Walsh, I will not put your comment up because you broke a rule. You're swearing in the comments. What the heck? I'm just kidding. But what a poop game and performance. Another game in. We had the lead twice. So disappointing. And I got to agree with you. And I believe this is a comment to you, Dan, when you're saying you're going to trade Marcelli and Yarncroke for a top 6 forward. No one is going to do that. To get a top 6 forward, you have to trade something that is worth it. So you're trading either.
Yeah, but you were arguing.
Dan, hold on. You are trading either Easton Cowan, who is a prospect with a lot of upside.
Okay, do that.
Or you are trading a Brandon Carlo. And right now, I look at the defense in Toronto. I feel we have 9 NHL defensemen.
9.
Do you want to go through them?
Yeah, dude. I'm going BS on that.
All right, let's pull up the Leafs roster. This isn't
maybe 7 on a good day.
Well, I mean, they need 6 or 7. Ha ha ha.
6, 7.
Ha 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 ha. But let's start to go through. Is Oliver Ekman-Larsson an NHL defenseman?
Yes.
Is Chris Tanev an NHL defenseman?
Yes. But
is Morgan Riley an NHL defenseman?
Yes.
Is Jake McCabe an NHL defenseman?
Yes.
Is Dakota Mermis an NHL defenseman?
No.
Disagree with you 100%. I think Dakota Mermis has played good enough, but fine. I'll even give you that one. Is Philip Myers an NHL defenseman?
No.
Yes, he is. He's been in the NHL for 3 years now. I'm calling you BS on that.
He's a -7.
Is Troy Stetcher an NHL defenseman?
I'll say yes.
Is Simone Benoit an NHL defenseman?
Yes.
We're up to 7 now.
6, because I don't agree with Mernis at the moment.
Oh, I think you're an idiot. And is Brandon Carlo an NHL defenseman?
Yes.
So you have 8 NHL defensemen.
That's my 7.
You have 8.
7.
You could even argue 9, because Dakota Mermis, in my opinion, is a NHL defenseman. We can go through the Marlies, too. The Marlies have defensemen that I think are good enough to be in the NHL.
Yeah, for sure. I like that.
Matt Benning, NHL defenseman. There's 10. You have 10 NHL defensemen. By the way, Marcelli has more points and a better plus-minus in less games than Max Domi.
Exactly my point. So you can get someone good for him. That's what I was going to say.
No, you can't. It's not. But anyway, but this team
Marcelli,
just doesn't have it, to be honest.
Player. He just does not fit this team whatsoever.
Marcelli alone is not getting you a top 6 forward. And
that's why you're falling young Cole and draft picks.
We don't have any draft picks, Dan.
Okay, you're
falling young Cole enough for the Sure, the Leafs were sick. That's not an excuse. I've worked for 3 months with walking pneumonia, and I handled it. So get over it. You're being paid
we
millions
weren't playing a
of
hockey
dollars.
game.
And I don't believe every single player on the team was injured.
William Nylander looked like he was going to pass out.
I agree, by the way. I actually would play Quinlan
That's
over
interesting
Domi.
one. Yeah. He's looking really good in Marlies.
They're more expensive in trades. That's very true. So you're going to get more for Brandon Carlo.
True.
Marcelli did not play yet again. I don't know why Berube refuses to play this guy who has had at least some success.
He played one good game.
When was the last time Max Domi played a good game?
Well, in the playoffs.
Exactly. So we've seen a more recent good game from Marcelli than Max Domi. Look, something has got to change, Dan. You can't keep juggling the same lines. And then another thing, too. Why is Bobby McMahon not playing with Nicholas Waugh now? That third line looked terrible.
Yeah, I didn't understand that at all.
It looks like Lane appreciates me trying to... Lane, I've been trying to knock some common sense into Dan since 1994.
Yeah, I know. Lane and I were talking about that last night, too.
So Louis Vuitton was a prospect on waivers, 4 games, 5 points. Was a first-round draft pick 4 years ago. That's
I forgot about that guy. Yes. Interesting.
So the Blackhawks this season. So I'm speeding through all these comments here.
Dave, I think that's the guy David was talking about a few episodes ago. If
you get a pizza from Domino's, half pepperoni and half cheese, it's not a cheese pizza. I mean, it's kind of is a cheese pizza, though. That's like saying if you get it half pepperoni, half cheese, it's not a pepperoni pizza. We could do it either way, me in Toronto. And also, too, Domino's. Really? My co-ops are in the chat for my job. They're like, no more Domino's.
I don't mind Domino's.
Domi is all right, but takes too many stupid penalties. But the problem is, guys, is Max Domi a top? Where does Domi fit in your lineup? Because he wasn't good on the third line. You can't put him at center. He's hopeless on the top line. There's no point paying him $3.5 million to play on the fourth.
I don't know. I'll give Domi more chances. You know, I really like him.
That's just my opinion.
I just look at Marcelli. I'm not saying he's a bad player because he's not, but he just doesn't fit this team. And I've been saying that forever.
Yeah, I believe Domi's a bottom 9. I would agree with that. But the problem is he doesn't fit the third line.
But what I was going to say, I hate to say this because he was playing really good for a while there, but he's kind of dipped off. Is this the time that the Nick Robinson experiment is over? Is this the time you trade Nick Robinson?
You're not going to get a... Nick Robertson, by the way, has 12 points in 29 games this year.
I think he's playing pretty well. I do. I think I expected a little bit better from him. So I'm just saying...
Honestly, you have to look at it, though. He's on pace for his best season.
True. Like, he's not playing bad. I don't know. It's just, you have to give up something to get
Dan, Max Domi in 30 games has 12 points, and he's a -12 with 18 penalty minutes.
I know, it's pretty bad.
Bobby McMahon, okay, he has 30, but he's also been in 3 fights this year.
Oh, I like Bobby. I love Bobby. I would say Bobby's one of my untouchables. Because I think Bobby's just going to keep getting better.
Like, the problem is, Dan, you have to start to look at where this team is expendable. It's expendable at defense, in my opinion, because they have an abundance of NHL-ready defensemen.
Yeah.
And I look at it, Morgan Riley has a no move. Oliver Ekman-Larsson is arguably your best offensive defenseman. Dan, let me finish.
Okay.
Oliver Ekman-Larsson's been your best offensive defenseman. Morgan Riley has a no move. Jake McCabe is your best defensive defenseman. Simone Benoit is the best 6th defenseman in the NHL for the price. You're not going to get much for Philip Myers. You're not going to get much for Troy Stetcher, even though he's been playing really well. Brandon Carlo was never really fit here, and he's probably still a top 6 player that you can get for him. But Brandon Carlo is literally the only player that you can trade to get what you need.
But my question is, are you okay with giving up a first-round pick and Fraser Minten for someone that's played, handful of games for the organization and getting rid of him? Are you okay with that? And we've all said since day one...
I don't really care what we lost.
We all said since day one, this Maple Leaf team is missing 6-7, is missing leadership that have won Stanley Cups. Brandon Carlo is one of the few players on this team that's won a Stanley Cup
Not
that
true.
had
Not one of the
teaching
few.
from Zdeno Chara and is a leader. He's one of those
Troy
few players
Stetcher's
that
been
have
to a
that.
Stanley Cup Finals. Oliver Ekman-Larsson has won a Stanley Cup, and he's been to the finals.
Who was the
Nicholas
first one you
Waugh.
said?
Troy Stetcher's been to a Stanley Cup Final.
Okay, but
Hold on. Nicholas Waugh's won a Stanley Cup. Oliver Ekman-Larsson's won a Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
You have... Yeah, okay, so that's it. But, like...
That's what I'm saying. So you can't get rid of someone...
Yes, you can, man. Brandon Carlo's been 2 packs of donkey butt. Brandon Carlo not fit this system. The experiment has failed. So move him where you can still get... As soon as he's healthy, give him a week, and then trade him. Because then you can trade him for an Alex Tuck to round out your top 6.
I was so excited when we got Brandon Carlo. I love this guy. I can't just give up on him that early.
Who doesn't matter. You would have been excited to have a race car bet as a kid. You don't want one now as a 36-year-old male. At least I hope not.
A race car? Not a race car.
A race car bed.
Oh, I'll take one of those, 100%.
Well, let's get back to some comments here. And
you don't want a race car bed, bro? What's wrong with you?
I want to break down this comment here from Adam. We lose Marner and somehow the whole system is falling apart. Either make a lineup change, make a trade, or fire Berube. No other choice. And you know what? I'm thinking it's time, since we learned how to do this the other day, for all of our viewers on the YouTubes.
There's a lot of them
pulling up our YouTube feed here. I am going to create a poll.
Oh, that's right.
So remember,
Wildfire said to fire the coach as well earlier?
Yeah, oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, someone did say that too. Jacob's typing away. You can hear the keyboard going.
So right now I'm creating the poll. So if you're watching on YouTube, or put in the comments what you think if you're on Facebook or Twitch.
Jacob's got one of those fancy keyboards that lights up. It sounds really nice when you type. That's a beautiful noise you're hearing right now. We got a pretty big comment from Key we have to address as well.
Absolutely, but Key did say to when we get a chance. So we're going to continue on our... So the poll is out here. What is the Leafs' next steps? Make a trade, lineup changes within, new coach, or wait it out. Those are your options.
Interesting.
I see Key also wants a race car bed.
Oh, I do, 100%. Remember those little Tykes beds? You know what I'm talking about, right?
I do.
Yeah, dude. And then remember before the little Tykes bed, there was even those Evercool beds, like they were like not plywood, but you know, that type of material. They were cool too.
But let's get into some more comments here. But Adam, I do agree with you to a point. I think that something has to be done, but I'm also, and I'm not saying you're blaming Mitch Marner on why this team's bad this year, Adam, but I'm just saying it because we're talking about Marner. I'm so sick and tired of everyone saying, oh, we just should have kept Mitch Marner.
That wasn't the right answer.
We were bad then, and we're bad now. The only difference is we had a little bit of extra talent that could make us get away with how terrible we are.
But I called it right when it happened. You cannot replace 100-point guy.
Yes, you can.
With someone that got 50 points in Phoenix.
You can.
And that's exactly
that's not what they did,
right
Dan.
Now.
That's not what they did. They assumed Max Domi, who 2 years ago put up 60 points, could put up 60 points, and between everyone else, you would equal out 100. Max Domi's the problem.
You even said Nick Robinson's on a career pace here. What?
I did. I'm talking about Max Domi, Dan. Read a book.
I agree Domi's playing bad. I do agree with you on that. We need a top 6. That's exactly what we're saying.
It's a mess without a top 6 player. I agree, but like, and again, always switching the lines is certainly another issue. But I mean, potentially, what else can you do right now? Robertson and Carlo for a top 6. There's a trade that actually makes sense.
Yeah.
Because again, playing Nick Robertson on the 4th line is kind of useless.
Mm-hmm.
And Brandon Carlo, I don't feel is needed.
I don't know. I'm just not okay.
Maybe a legit top 6.
I'm not okay giving up Fraser Mitten.
But Dan, it doesn't. But Dan, you've already given up Fraser Mitten. Move on. He's gone. Bye-bye. I see you want a guy with term. That could be trickier.
Yeah, for sure. You know, every time we think of 6'7", I think of Max Pacioretty because he wore number 67 last
Absolutely,
year.
Adam. You were being sarcastic to a point, but I'm also saying that, like, I'd see it in Leaf Nation all the time. We just should have kept Marner. Marner's not even having a good year.
Terrible. He has a nice hat in TV commercials, though.
Whatever. Yeah, Marner is old news. At this point, the season blaming anything in Marner is Leaf's shortcoming is old news. I agree.
Yeah,
And again,
100%.
we're not saying
100% agree with you.
so. Key, unfortunately for you to get to be able to vote in the poll, Facebook doesn't let me create these sexy polls. But the poll is: what is the Leafs' next steps? Make a trade, lineup changes within, new coach, or wait it out. Currently, we are a 50-50 split between make a trade and new coach in the poll.
Oh, wow.
Lane Dashing Dashko, the season is done, in my opinion. Or IOM could stand for internal muffin operation.
Am
I going to say the season is done? No. And again, you know, you're obviously entitled to your opinion. It's like a butthole. Everyone's got one. But when I look at this Leaf team, one thing that did you a huge favor was Pittsburgh blowing a 5-1 lead and losing that game. So that did you a favor tonight. And you are currently 2 points out of a playoff spot as we are speaking at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
So we are not 2 points out. I apologize. My screen refreshed to the wrong. We are 4 points out of a playoff spot as of today.
That sounds more like it.
So, but you can't say with 61 games left for the Leafs. Not 61, 50, whatever. Like about 50 games left, roughly, that the season's done. Because if you're you are the Vancouver Canucks, you just traded Quinn Hughes, you're 10 points out of a playoff spot, you have a minus 24 goal differential. Sure, your season is done. But for Toronto, I think Toronto is potentially a trade away from getting the season back. And I understand, Lane, I get what actually, wow, there's a lot of comments here. So let's go. Me and Toronto saying you've got one option, wrap up the season and hit the 18th hole.
I just want to say, when you have this comment up still, for people who don't know, Me for Toronto is a new social media page that talks about very cool things to do in Toronto. And we just released the other day on their Instagram page, they're coming out with new Me and Toronto swag for the year 2026. Hoodies and all that with their cool logo and CN Tower and all that. So definitely check out their page. Be one of the first to get their swag. They make great videos and talk about all kinds of cool things to do way here in the Six. So definitely support a great local business, and we'll be in partnerships with them soon.
Also, quick
coming on your decks.
Yeah, absolutely. And Me and Toronto's a great page. I do want to say a quick shout out to Sean Findo. Thank you very much for sending us the like.
Oh, Mr. Findo. Yes.
Always
great family. He's got the best family. I love his kids. Really, really nice, polite kids.
Well, let's get back into some comments here saying
back in the day.
Lineup changes won't do much if the system isn't working. And yeah, that's the argument. Is it the players or is it the system? And I do always say a coach like Craig Berube has a short shelf life. I thought it'd be longer than not even a season and a bit. But maybe the shelf life is filled up and they need to bring in, I keep saying it, but hire Bruce Boudreau. To Mr. Dashinator, they win a few games and went right back to being bad. The thing is, though, it was 2-2 going into the third. It's not like this game was completely lost.
This comment comes to what I was having to say, okay? We were discussing here quarter way through the year. We're like, when it's October, we'll just play bad in October. Then November came, like, okay, you got a little more time. Then it was quarter game of the year, like, okay, we're starting to raise some eyebrows. Then they started playing better. But now we're 30 games in instead of 20 games in. And we're kind of back to square because not just tonight. They've also lost another game recently too, right? So we're kind of right back.
They got a point in the other game recently.
And I always look at it, we also talk about the first domino falling. In my opinion, yesterday, the first domino fell with the Stuart Skinner trade. Edmonton is in a similar place in Toronto where they should be a lot better than they are. They may have moved. Then way after the Stuart Skinner trade, we saw Vancouver like, yeah, we're done. And then the second domino fell. So my opinion now, we're at the point where we have given this team 30 plus games. Arguably over a third of the way through a year, leading up to the Christmas break. This is the time we hit the panic button because we're out of the playoff spot. We knew after us firing the coats, make a trade, whatever. Something has to get done now.
I do agree about something having to get done, but I wouldn't give up on the season just yet like Vancouver, because Vancouver is in a much different situation because Quinn Hughes said he didn't want to re-sign. Yeah. Also, quick for any of our OJHL fans here, the Georgetown Raiders snapped a 6-game losing streak tonight and a surprising win over the Coburg Cougars.
Well, they're a really good team, too, the Coburg Cougars.
You're thinking of the Burlington Cougars.
No, but I think it's funny how you have this. It's kind of like the CFL, the Rough Riders back in the day. You have such a small, well, I say they small, it's like 20 or some odd teams. You got a league of 20 some odd teams, you got two of them the same name. I think it's kind of hilarious.
By the way, our current poll now is 60% for new coach, 40% for make a trade. No one's saying lineup changes within or wait it out. I do agree at this point we can't wait it out much longer.
No, and I don't see a point in making more lineup changes. We're putting the blender on every game. I think at this point it's hurting us.
But then also to Key's comment here, coach overall kind of costs less, and sometimes you can find a Dan Campbell in the rough. That's very true. Yeah, right? And it is easier to fire the coach than blow up the team. And two, with Matthews, Nylander, Nyes, and Riley all having no moves, you can't blow up the team.
It's like you said, Jacob, it's time to hire Bruce Boudreau or John Tortorella. I think those are your two guys.
I agree with this comment here about Alex Tuck, and this is the guy that I think Buffalo will be willing to trade.
100%. Buffalo's been bad too this year.
Alex Tuck has 26 points in 30 games.
Oh yeah, he looked really good.
Alex Tuck's a very, very good player, right? And he's also
a perfect piece of Toronto.
He's a even 0 for a plus minus on a team that's really bad. Look, I don't see how they could swing it. I would love the Leafs to get Tage Thompson. I've been saying that for the last couple of years.
Yeah, I'll be sick.
Get Tage Thompson as a big power forward. Tage Thompson and Matthew Nyes in a line would be deadly.
I would be okay trading Carlo and Robertson for Tage Thompson.
Dan, congratulations. You're about to make $20.
Oh, sweet.
But absolutely, me and Toronto will definitely have to link up very soon for some promos.
And for whoever businesses watching the program, you can see our numbers are glowing. Jacob and I will be working on some sponsorship packages, so some opportunities for growing businesses. So if that's something you're interested in, you see our email address on the bottom of the checker, send us an email and we can definitely help you out. We're getting viewership from all over the place. We're getting new people following the page and subscribers every day, and thank you so much for all of that. And because of that, get boosting us up in the algorithm, and we can do more and more. So thank you, everybody.
Poll is now up to 67% new code, 33% make a trade. So I think what we're definitely seeing in the comments here from Leaf Nation, and even people who just hate the Leafs but love the Leaf drama, is that a change needs to happen. But I like this comment from Lane. It's not just Marner, but the team has lost the plot. And that's where I kind of think it's coming down to coaching. I feel the talent's there. And I mean, it was interesting, though. I was talking to a viewer of the program. I won't say his name, but we were chatting yesterday. And he's like, but you've gone through so many coaches, you know, between Mike Babcock and Sheldon Keefe and Craig Berube.
That's something I said.
You've gone, wasn't you, but it was
I have said I pass.
Good for you. Have a cookie.
Yay!
But it's one of those things. It's like, but Washington did the exact same thing until they found their Barry Trotz that got them over the hump. They didn't trade Ovechkin and Backstrom and Holtby, right? They looked for the right coach and Mike Green to find a fit with their roster. So that's why I'm more leaning towards a coach. And Lane, the problem is the Leafs can't do what Vancouver's doing, because you have too many guys that are in contracts that are unmovable. Quinn Hughes wanted out, so it's a different situation. But like, do we do the same song and dance every 2 to 3 days? It sometimes feels
Basically,
like we're
this
doing
whole
that.
season felt like.
Austin Matthews is no longer elite. That's what killing you. At
Yeah.
the same time, though, you wonder if you put Matthews with another true top 6 forward, because I think it's more Max Domi that's killing that line than Matthews and Knives.
Matthew Knives. I would
But
say
Dan,
he's
again, no, but you need a group of 3. It's, we don't play 4-on-4 hockey. It's 5-on-5.
Yeah.
And I feel it's Max Domi that's really holding that line up, because that Matthews Knives, when it was Matthews Knives Nylander, it started to look really great. But then the Tavares line couldn't do anything.
Got a point tonight.
Lovely, Dan. So did Troy Stetcher, and you said he was the worst player on the ice.
Well, he scored on his own net too.
This team is all right. I still, no offense, I still don't agree with that. I think it's too early to call it a write-off, but I am
really
saying,
close to that point.
I'm saying, though, we're at the point where I think that Brad Treliving has got to do something.
Well, that's the other question. We're talking about the moves in the coach. Is Brad Treliving's seat a little heated at this point? Is a heated seat button on at Brad Treliving's seat?
Even Mike Johnson said he used to be a McDavid McKinnon. Now he's 2/3. But again, like,
ooh.
I've never said Austin Matthews is a McKinnon or McDavid level player. McDavid's only being paid 12.5 because for some reason he seems to think this Edmonton team can win a Stanley Cup. Sure, they smoked Toronto today. I don't think Tristan Jarry makes this team a cup contender. I really don't.
No.
But the difference is with Austin Matthews is because the way Craig Berube is making him play, he is so focused on defense, he isn't scoring.
Right.
And playing him, when he was under Sheldon Keefe, he turned Max Domi and Tyler Bertuzzi into elite players.
That's true.
Say what you want about Sheldon Keefe. Sheldon Keefe got the most out of Austin Matthews. Craig Berube gets the most out of Dakota Joshua and Scott Lawton. And then that's what you have to ask yourself, what do you want more out of?
Actually, do what? I know it's kind of maybe it's a stupid comment.
Hey, we have a Leafs. You know what? I still agree with this comment. Leafs. Go Leafs, go. At the end of the day, even when we're having these discussions, like, I'm still a Leaf fan.
I think there's a new viewer, so thank you for joining us at the desk.
Thank you, Leafs man 222. Welcome to the Analyst Desk.
Yes, thank you.
Leafs will make a change or something after Jan 1st, the middle of the month. I could see it waiting till then.
Yeah. I can see that too.
I wouldn't trade Matthews for Thompson, and also too, there's no way Austin Matthews is going to waive his no move to go to Buffalo. I'm not trying to be whatever.
I can see him going Utah.
I couldn't either.
Like Utah.
Yeah, if losing points in the standings, I do agree that this is kind of connecting to this comment here. That I could see them making a trade by just after January 1st.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, your emojis don't come up on the screen, but I thought I'd show you that you tried.
It's a cat in a waste car. Look at going back to the waste car bit.
But I could see Adam here again. I'm kind of on the same boat as him, that Matthews was never a McKinnon or a McDavid, but like he's certainly like a Jack Eichel. He's there's a lot of good players. He's still in a top 10 player in this league when he's playing to his full potential. But he can't get there. I honestly don't know if he can get there with Craig Berube. I think the system doesn't fit the team, and you can't change the entire team when they're all under no moves to fit the system. So you got to change the system.
I actually feel bad for Austin Matthews because it's like we're all on him because he's not getting the goals. But arguably, you could say Austin Matthews is the best two-way center in the NHL, maybe besides Crosby and Barkov. And, for him to play so well two-way, he's still on pace to get 40 goals. If you took off the Matthews name off the jersey and say you can get a great two-way center that gets you 40 goals, 30 of those teams will sign up for it, right?
I agree.
So I feel like myself included, I've been hard on him for a long time, but, when you stop and think about it, I think he's still a pretty elite player.
And I see some comments here, and I kind of want to get into some of these comments between Lane Dashing Dashko and Adam. With Lane saying 69 goals, Adam, I disagree. He used to be a Hart and Selke. You guys are wrong. But I kind of want to look at this here, okay?
Comment from Key too,
and we're gonna get there, Dan. Don't worry. Okay, yes. Don't you worry your little head. And it kind of saying, McGee's and Mac are on a different level and Matty, and that's just a fact. And I agree with that, and I want to explain why. So Austin Matthews' best season under Sheldon Keefe was 69 goals, 38 assists, 107 points. But we look at his second best year under Sheldon Keefe, 60 goals, 46 assists for 106 points in just 73 games.
That's positive.
Those are very impressive, okay?
Yeah.
Let's now go to Connor McDavid. So Connor McDavid, okay, has 51 points in 32 games this year. Connor McDavid last year in 167 games had 100 points. The year before, Connor McDavid in 76 games had 100 assists and 132 points. You'd think that would be his best year of his career. No, it was not. 2022-23 in 82 games, 64 goals, 89 assists, 153 points. But you know what? 21-22, he wasn't nearly as good. He only had 44 goals and 79 assists for 123 points. And here's a year. He only had 33 goals and 72 assists for 105 points in 56 games. 64 games the year before, 97 points. Connor McDavid has only been under 100 points twice in his career. In his career.
Yeah.
His rookie season, where in 45 games he had 48 points. And in 19 and 20, where in 64 games he had 97 points.
Yeah. And then
you cannot compare McDavid. Sidney Crosby set the record for most consecutive point per game seasons. And I thought this record would never be broken, and Connor McDavid will break it.
If he plays 20 years.
If he stays in the league long enough, he will break it.
Do you think he'll play for 20 years, though? Do you think about the speed that McDavid plays?
Yeah, I do.
Crosby is so good at being consistent. You notice that? Like, Crosby's as fast now as he was when he was a rookie. Versus McDavid is so fast now, which is fantastic. But I can't see how he can keep that consistency up for another 20 years. That's with me personally.
I gotta agree with Key here, by the way, quickly. I do miss the Arizona logos and everything, and the old Coyote logos were so sick.
I get the Coyotes had to move, but that last game was like sad. They didn't have many fans, but the fans they had was so loyal. And I felt really bad for I forget what broadcast it was, but even the broadcasting company at the time was making fun.
And it was completely uncalled for.
A lot of people were making fun, and that's not cool. It was sad for the people that did like them.
Lane, I do agree the injuries have not helped Austin Matthews, but what I'm getting at is, in my opinion, the only people who compared Austin Matthews to Connor McDavid were delusional Leaf fans.
100%.
When you actually break down statistically, these guys are not on the same level. That's like saying let's say Dan goes and orders 3 hot dogs at Harvey's. Congratulations, Dan. You were able to afford 3 hot dogs at Harvey's. They're like $4 each.
Well, that's basically $20 of me in Toronto. Right?
Exactly. Can you now compete with the best hot dog eating contest guy in the world?
Phil Kessel, by the way.
You would lose.
Competitive hot dog.
Austin Matthews, yes, has had a couple of 60-goal seasons. That is very impressive. He is not Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid consistently every year is the best player in the league, and it's not.
Connor McDavid doesn't play defensively the way Matthews does.
Sure.
Well, it's an important factor.
It's still. Oh, hey, and welcome back. Always nice to see our barber friend.
Oh, yes.
Every protest, his heads are not little. Well, I'll try to make my head smaller.
From Norway.
Yeah, I do agree, Lane. He was in the conversation, but he was in the conversation kind of like when people were comparing. Do you remember the one year? No. Remember the one year that Jonathan Chichu years ago was like the best goal scorer in the NHL?
Oh, when Jumbo was setting him up.
That's like, to me, comparing Austin Matthews to Connor McDavid. He had a couple years where he put up 60 goals, but they were never the same level. Yeah. And Lane saying he's awful, and again, I understand the frustration with him. I can't say Matthews is awful. Everyone is saying McDavid cried. He didn't. His face was flushed and slammed his hands together in anger. Joking aside, I get his frustration.
Actually,
believe
I'm just going to say something here. One thing I found very interesting about tonight's game wasn't even a part of the game. During the pre-game interviews, they interviewed Connor McDavid and asked him how he felt about the Jari trade. And he said he was very disappointed to see Skinner and Kulak go. And it was upset to see guys go. And he didn't say anything about bringing Jari in. So I thought it was very surprisingly, because normally when they ask a player, like, oh, it's sad to see a teammate go, but we welcome this new guy with our open arms, or we're excited to have new opportunities. He didn't say any of that. And I was really shocked that he didn't.
He kind of did at the very end of the interview saying, and, we'll see what Jari can do for the team. But
that almost sounds like he doesn't believe in him.
I thought Tristan Jari was okay today.
No, I know, but that
I'm very, I don't know if you, I'm very curious to see what Stuart Skinner looks like in front of a better defense.
I think he'll be good in Pittsburgh.
I think he'll be at least okay.
And what I was pointing out in last night's episode, if you people missed it, you're still on YouTube, you're on Facebook, you go back and watch last night's episode as well.
After this episode.
After this one, of course. But one thing we did talk about, like I mentioned Elaine, is I'm scratching my head. Why is Doofus taking Stuart Skinner and downgrading a goal, in my opinion? But you look at Brett Kulak. I think Brett Kulak could be a missing piece of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Because look at that defense now. You got Carson, Letane, Weatherspoon, Dubba, Kulak.
Well, Dumba's down in the minors now, but yeah.
Okay. Graves, you got 5 really decent defensemen there in Pittsburgh now.
So hold on, Dan. You're saying Dumba is good, but Dakota Mermis is not an NHL defenseman, but Dakota Mermis has better numbers than Matt Dumba.
No, look at Matt Dumba. He's got 4 points in 11 games this year.
Get absolutely wrecked. But he's a minus player and he can't skate. And he keeps falling over when he's skating backwards.
I just like the fact that Dumba is so physical. I know Mernis is physical too. I think Mernis will have a great future of the NHL defense. I can see Mernis being an NHL defenseman next year. I can see
it now. I thought Dakota Mermis, when he was healthy, man, the guy has spunk.
He played really well.
I love him. And Danny, I remember he's been in the Marlies for a few years too. He's been in the system.
100%. He's been great in the Marlies. We've seen.
I mean, a positive note for Toronto, the Leafs' 5th string goalie tonight, when he came in relief, I actually thought he looked. I thought he looked good. He tracked the puck well.
Me too. I agree.
But I want to get into some of these comments as Adam and Lane are having a SummerSlam SmackDown. Adam saying calling him, as in Matthews, awful is such a bad take. If him scoring around 40 goal year is awful, I will take it. And that's kind of, I think it is fair to say Austin Matthews is not as good under this system as he was 2 years ago. But to say he's awful, I would have to disagree personally.
I thought Matthews' skills is upside. Means his leadership. I don't think he's captain material.
But Lane saying, I'm so peed off that they told us we were getting Prime Matthews back this year, and they told us he's back and he's still missing on the milk carton.
Remember, I called that in the
preseason.
I said, I think he's still injured. I think we're lying to us.
It's a drop off, Adam. I won't accept it.
Whoa.
That, if you went for a work and had 100% perfect setups and then you only having 40. I mean, again, I get what you're saying, Lane, to a point, but I also think a system can fail a player or an employee. Oh, but he's still amazing. And I'm not saying, and again, and then I'll get to the rest of their comments there, because I'm actually really enjoying the argument here and that you guys are doing respectfully, like we said at the beginning of the show. Yeah. The thing is with Austin Matthews, I think he needs to be in the right system to succeed. And I don't think it would be like if you put Connor McDavid and said, McDavid, we're going to change the style of Edmonton and we're going to make this team a trap team. We don't want you flying up and down the ice, and I still expect you to put up 140 points this year. It wouldn't happen. McDavid would do what his coach wanted him to do, but the point totals would come down.
That's the difference between McDavid and Matthews right there. You nailed it on the head. Craig Berube did that to Matthews, and Matthews like, okay, I'll do it. I'll accept it, blah, blah, blah. You're telling me, because Connor McDavid has a no-move clause as well. You're telling me if Edmonton gets a hard coach
You can say
like
ass.
Craig Berube and say, oh yeah, we're going to play a defensive trap. You think McDavid's not going to move his no-move clause? That's the difference between the two of them right there.
No, here's the difference. Connor McDavid has been to the Stanley Cup 2 years in a row, so he can say that. Austin Matthews can't. There's a difference. You guys, again, you're comparing Connor McDavid to Austin Matthews. Even Nathan McKinnon. Nathan McKinnon last year had 79 games at 116 points. Year before, 82 games, 140 points. Year before, 71 games, 111 points. Year before, 65 games, 88 points. They're not the same level. But let's get back into a comment here saying there's a reason Matthews the only one to hit 60-plus goals twice. It's very hard. 40 is still elite. And I do agree, Matthews is on pace. If he played every game this year, he would score, I think, 45. 45 goals is still in the conversation to be one of the best goal scorers in the NHL.
Is it, though?
Yes, it is, Dan. If we start to look at averages.
I think like 22 goals, like 30 games in. I think we're past that now.
Again, what did I just say? You can't compare the two. Lane, I get your thing if you say so. And Lane, I think you have every right to be frustrated. I've said this. You have to put the blame on Matthews, Nylander, Nyes, because they're the guys that are making the biggest money. And even Tavares, I know he's not making the big bucks now, but I mean, you overpaid him when you got him in the first place. And I think Tavares, this is a hot take. I think getting John Tavares was actually the downfall of this team ever having success. John Tavares, they got a guy like Tavares too early before they were truly ready for it.
Oh boy.
And that was the issue. Dan, but to get Tavares is the reason why Nazem Kadri became expendable. And I would still rather have Nazem Kadri in that Game 7 against Florida than John Tavares. Because Nazem Kadri wouldn't have rolled over and went to bed. And you can laugh all you want. You know I'm right. What has Colorado done in the playoffs since they let Nazem Kadri walk?
Nothing.
What was that, Dan? Do you want to repeat that? Do you want to repeat why I'm absolutely right? What has John Tavares done in his playoff history to show that he is better for a team in the playoffs than Nazem Kadri?
He scored the goal in overtime of Game 7 to beat Tampa.
Round 1, that was all Morgan Riley. Yeah, Tavares got the goal, but it was Tavares that did it. It was Riley that did everything.
But still.
At the end of the day, Nazem Kadri, when he was on that magic playoff run of Colorado, he was their best player. Couldn't even tie his own skates, and he was out there being their best player.
So we talk about Alex Tutt there being a good piece of Toronto. We see Nazem. We trade Brandon Carlo for Nazem Kadri.
You won't trade Brandon Carlo, and Calgary certainly doesn't want Yarncroke, Robertson, and 10 7th-round picks for him. But McDavid, and it's comment here, McDavid is a man of few words. He'll give a half-assed comment in favor of him, and that's him saying he loves a guy. I do agree.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe
I think McDavid's interviews
into it too much.
Yeah, he's not like Nylander that'll kind of play with the reporter a little bit.
Yeah.
If you're only scoring 40 goals, you're not even the top 50 goal scoring. Let's actually look that up. And I'm curious, and I think Dan and Lane are on the same page, which, Lane, that might be scary for you at the moment because Dan believes Matt Dumba is an elite NHL defenseman. So let's take a trip back to 24-25. The leading goal scorer.
Walking with third winner.
Get stats. Okay, so Leon Draisaitl led the NHL with 52 goals. Next is William Nylander at 45, Alexander Ovechkin at 44, Thompson 44, Pasternak 43, Point 42, Connor 41, Gensel 41, and cracking the top 10, Scheifele and Reinhart with 39. So Austin Matthews is on pace for 44 and a half goals. So let's just say 45 to make it a nice even number. Or we'll even say 44. Ovechkin is on pace this year to be tied for third in the goal scoring lead in the NHL last year.
Mm-hmm.
And you're telling me that's not an elite goal scorer? Saying, is Alex Ovechkin not an elite goal scorer if he only scored 44 goals last year? When he scored 44 goals last year. So is he not an elite goal scorer?
Well, he's the best in history.
No, according to you and Lane, he's not.
Yeah, but I'm talking about this year. This year, I have Nathan McKinnon at 22 and 30. I agree. Last year, goal scoring was low for whatever reason. This year is higher.
This year, yeah, Nathan MacKinnon has 25 goals so far. And how many games has he played? I just had his stats up. I think it's like 32.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's around there.
So let's do some quick calculations, Mr. Morfor.
Yeah.
And then we'll get to some more comments. I see we have a lot of comments in the comment section here, which I love.
Thank you, everyone. It's great.
Yeah, so Nathan MacKinnon's on pace for 64 goals, which is impressive. And then Morgan Geekie has 22.
He's been incredible. Holy cow. No one saw that on my bingo card.
He's on pace for 56. Jason Robertson is 20.
He's really picked it up this year.
So he's on pace for 48. So he is third in the NHL in goal scoring. He's on pace for 48. So according to you, the third best goal scorer in the NHL is not an elite goal scorer. You do all you want. Austin Matthews is on pace to have 4 less goals than Jason Robertson. Connor Bedard has 19 goals. Is he not an elite goal scorer? Yes, he is. This year he is.
Sad to see he got injured.
Sidney Crosby has 19 goals this year, so he's on pace for around mid-40s again. Kaprizov's on pace for around mid-40s. So you're telling me Kirill Kaprizov, who's getting paid the most money in the NHL, is not an elite goal scorer? You're wrong.
Yeah, I guess
numbers don't lie. Dan does.
It was me that said that comment, not me.
Last year, 45 was a minimum being top 50, not in goal scoring lane. I'm sorry. I'm just looking at the numbers, good sir. NHL 10 years ago, that's actually an interesting question. Let's actually go back 10 years ago. So we'll go back to 2015, 2016. Because we can do that. The leading goal scorer then had 50 goals, Alexander Ovechkin.
Yeah.
So actually very similar to what it is now. Elite goal scoring back then was around 30 goals. Now it's around 40 goals, I would say.
Yeah.
And by the way, like, I'm not upset that you guys have different opinions. I absolutely love you guys have different opinions. That's what we
want to do here on the deck, so I have good debates.
I'm glad Lane is still showing love to Adam, though. So you guys can kiss and make up later. Mwah. But scoring has gone up, but that doesn't mean 40 is an elite. I kind of agree with Adam on this one. 40 goals when we're looking statistically, and I'm going back through years. And sorry, Dan, I'm not trying to, be the bearer.
I guess
whatever.
I'm not saying my comment. I'm not.
But even the year Austin Matthews had 69, right? No. Great number, by the way. I'm almost happier he finished at 69 and not 70. Sam Reinhart, 57. Zach Hyman, 54. Nathan MacKinnon, 51. Panarin had 49. Forsberg, 48. Pasternak, 47. Kaprizov, 46. Kucherov, 42 to round off the top 10. So Matthews, even that year, still would have been in the top 10 of his downward slump. Okay. So Austin Matthews at his peak is the best goal scorer in the league. Austin Matthews on his slump is between the 5th and 8th best goal scorer in the league.
Still in top 10. I guess something we phrase this.
Again, I'm sorry, Lane. I have to disagree with you just because I'm looking at the numbers. And I know you did post these comments, I think, before I started going back and looking at some stats. But Austin Matthews is also, I'll tell you one thing, I don't see Nathan MacKinnon winning these defensive battles the way Austin Matthews does either. Like Barkov will get less points.
Yeah. Barkov only gets about 90
not looking at stats. Bro, like numbers don't lie. Like there's no other way to, if we're going to compare elite goal scoring to elite goal scoring, we have to look at the stats of what an elite goal scorer is.
I mean, to guess what I'm saying is, like, we on paper, Austin Matthews is the top 10. I just don't, in my opinion, I don't think Austin Matthews has what it takes to be a captain.
I'm not arguing, to be honest. I actually agree with you. I don't think Austin Matthews is a good captain. I didn't like him being named captain when he did, but I'm not arguing that. I'm arguing he's still an elite goal scorer.
Yeah, but he's not captain material. Nowadays, so many people are like, oh, we got to give our best player the captain. Why? I put this, Alex Ovechkin, best example. When they wanted to make him captain, he's like, no, I'm not with it yet. So they got Chris Clark and made him the captain. Chris Clark was a third-line player. He had a good 30-goal year back year as captain, But I feel like that's what Toronto needs. They need someone to take over John Tavares to be the captain.
Look, you guys are going to hate my take. It should have been Morgan Riley in the first place, but you can't name Morgan Riley the captain now.
Yeah, I really like Morgan Riley as the captain. Unpopular.
I hate to say it. I don't think there's anyone on this roster who I would name captain. I think you got to go outside. I think Matthews is the captain for the rest of this season, but I think by next season you're going outside to try to find another someone else to be the leader. And I don't think the leader has to be your best player. I don't agree with that. No, I think the leader has to be the guy who motivates you. Maybe Chris Tanev, as much as I just said, don't
OEL.
But Chris Tanev, OEL, maybe it's more these, maybe it's
crazy, but by next year or a couple years after, can we see Matty Nice take over as captain?
I could in maybe 2 to 4 years.
He plays, he seriously puts it all on the line.
By the way, I don't say lay it on the line. I heard that song way too much. Let's go back to the poll.
Nice.
So interesting here. Now the poll has changed up a little bit. We have 50% for new coach. We have 38% for make a trade and 12% for lineup changes.
Oh, interesting.
So that's interesting that the lineup change in the chat starting to come up.
Interesting.
But Lane, were you saying players already have plus 25 goals this year? You have
one
player with 25 goals. You only have 3 players with over 20 goals this year.
Mm-hmm.
You better not say in the NHL only has 3 elite goal scorers. That'd be absolutely terrible marketing for the quote unquote golden era. And I did by accident skip a key comment here. I backtracked from a couple weeks ago. I watch IIHF World Junior. I love the World Juniors. Hope Germany gets silver this year. You know what? Germany's one of those sneaky teams in the World Juniors that they usually pull up an upset or 2 per tournament.
Yep, that's right.
So Canada can limit themselves to Ontario roster. That's what killed them. Yeah, I do agree with killed them.
Yeah.
You can say killed Key in the comments. That's okay. So I was not talking about murder. But yeah, I do feel the World Juniors. I thought last year Canada went too much of trying to build a team to win an 82-game season and not to win a 10, 12-game tournament.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with that. Yeah, 100%.
You do not need to interrupt. I mean, you don't need to say sorry to interrupt, but the Leafs chatter, but I just came here to say that Lane Hudson is insane. Yes, I do agree with you.
I can see him being a Quinn Hughes type of player in a couple years.
Is actually, I think where Montreal has done a better job than Toronto. Montreal didn't run out and go get a top 6 forward before they were ready.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Montreal just kept trying to build the team a little bit better. It was almost like the Leafs making the playoffs that year they faced Washington was almost bad.
But then this season, Montreal
they need a goalie desperately.
But this offseason, I would argue Montreal made the biggest splash by getting Noah Dobson. And by getting Noah Dobson, that's how we're seeing Lane Hughes play as well as he is. So I think that was the best move. And we called this a few episodes ago when we did quarter year review. Everyone thought it was crazy. But I think Montreal is the best Canadian team in the NHL right now. I guess they lost to the Rangers tonight, but boy,
if Montreal gets a goalie, then they're the best Canadian team. I'm actually going to go to Lane's prediction on this one. The Winnipeg Jets are a very different team with and without Connor Hellebuyck. If they can get on a roll, they might become the best Canadian team in the NHL now. But for later, next show, and don't say if we have one, we'll definitely have one.
Oh, for
IHF
sure.
is one form of hockey I'd love to start watching. Germany is such an exciting team, and I hope they keep it. Let's hope Canada is willing to diversify their roster in all parts. There's hockey talent to be found from PEI to the Great Lakes. I do agree with you there. And you know what? Lane is admitting he made a mistake. And Lane, it's okay to make mistakes. He was combining 2 years of goals together on the NHL app. The NHL app, I do agree, is not very good. Good news, if you're a CFL fan, the CFL is getting a proper new app next year.
That's why.
And a new website and fantasy football. Combined 2 years, that's why I was freaking out. Lane's just like, what do you mean? The top is only 40 goals.
Because I kept thinking, are you getting goals and points mixed up? Are you thinking of 40 points? I kept thinking, like, math is not adding up, dude, whatsoever.
And here's an interesting one from Adam here. Goals per game this year so far is 3.03, which is down from 2 years ago, but still up from pre-pandemic in the last decade. This is the 4th highest in goal scoring. That's an interesting point.
That's an interesting stat. Wow.
Lane, you are not stupid.
No,
you are a beautiful man who is dashing through the snow in his Kia K5, has snow tires on, so he will stay alive. Maybe we'll do Christmas carols at one point at the desk. I don't know. I actually don't like Christmas music, but I do agree, Lane. I do miss the 60-plus goal scoring. It was a crazy ride, but
I was hoping he was going to hit 70.
I just hope he hits 6-7.
Yeah, 6-7. I just feel like
look at this. I love Lane. I love
100%.
And Lane, I do get why you're frustrated. And to say Austin Matthews is not playing as well as he has years past, I would agree to that. I just think instead of saying it's the player, I think it's the system. And you can't get rid of the player, so we got to fix the system. Numbers won't lie like 6-7.
6-7?
Gosh, I still have a lot of comments to catch up on. Good Lord. Here's an interesting one. Ovi used to score 60 a year. Now he's scoring half that. Glad he beat the goal record, though. And that's the thing. So would you say Ovechkin's not an elite goal scorer anymore? And I wouldn't. Ovechkin is still an elite goal scorer, even though he's not as good as he used to be.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
Interesting comment here. It's like it was amazing to see goalies would shake their boots when he shot, and now they're laughing and singing Christmas carols.
Oh.
Again, though, I really feel it's the system, not so much the player. I think when you build a system around defense, obviously the offense will go down.
Well, the other thing I got...
And it's not like it's been better in the playoffs, because Sheldon Keefe actually made it further. He made it to this pretty much the same spot as Berube. But go ahead, Dan.
Berube made a one game forever, so I give him credit for that. But anyway, I don't know if we're caught up on the comments yet or not, but if
we're not.
Oh, well,
but go ahead, Dan.
Well, I want to talk on new topics. I maybe want to talk about the comments.
Okay. We haven't done anything with him, unfortunately. I do agree with that. 2 second-round appearances, that's unacceptable. I also agree with that. If only Quebec hockey could figure this stuff out. I believe Adam's talking about World Juniors. The Quebec Major Junior League does have a lot of very talented players.
Well, that's where Crosby
He is just thoroughly enjoying the commentary today.
It's been great.
I hope CFL.ca will still keep the weekly reset salary cap fantasy system. I'm not sure how they're going to do it, but I know they're doing more fantasy where it's going to be more. It's going to be more. I don't know more of what. Maybe I'll be in
details yet.
But you're going to be able to build like full fantasy teams and have fantasy franchises with your friends. So we'll be doing a fantasy group with there you go. Have a fantasy with Dan, Lane, and I. That's some fantasy at the desk. And Adam, of course. Lane, you are the dashingest man, and don't you forget it.
100.
Oh man. I had one back to the Austin. Oh, I'm back since skipped me in Toronto, but I will catch that one in a second. I thought Key left. I'm so glad you're still commenting on the show. Key would never leave.
No, of course not.
He has been a viewer with us since the start, and we've been on for almost a year now.
And even before that, you had your 705 sports show up in the Sioux.
Absolutely. But here we go. Matthews hit his peak. I wouldn't say last season, but Matthews didn't have a great year last year. But I think after Game 7, he's declining, but not because he's not good anymore. Maybe he just doesn't see the point giving it 100 when the team is still broken at the moment.
That's a good point.
I do actually could see that point there.
That. He's not going to say that, but you think about they never really replaced Mitch Marner, right?
Oh, shut up about Mitch Marner. He was there last year. Get over it. Build a bridge. You know what? I'm sorry. We'll get to some more comments in a minute. I need to. My favorite part of of the show is proving Dan wrong. And before you say don't look at the stats, anyone, well, his numbers don't lie. Dan does. Mitch Marner is on pace for 82.1 points this year.
I get that, bro.
No, you don't. He has 6 damn goals. He's terrible.
I'm just saying, maybe
He is 2
Matthews is
packs of
not.
donkey butt. He sucks.
Maybe Matthews is not giving it 100% because either way, you lost an 80-point guy and you replaced him with a 50-point guy.
Okay, but Dan, again, you're comparing. I love this. That's it. Jacob's getting angry time. You're comparing Mitch Marner like he's a Nathan McKinnon type player. He has had one 100-point season his whole career.
No, I'm not. I don't think he's anything like Nathan McKinnon.
He's a mid-90s point guy, but then you keep saying he's a 100-point player. He's at 100 points once. Realistically, if you average out, he averages approximately 90 points a year.
Okay, even so, you lost a 90-point guy and replaced him with a 50-point guy in Phoenix 3 years ago.
Okay, Dan, again, you're missing the point. Yes, you are. So Mitch Marner, how many points did I say he has currently?
What? 6.
I have too many screens. He has 32 points, okay? So, let's see. Since Dan believes the Leafs have not replaced Marner's 32 points.
Okay, I know you.
Okay, no, Dan, we're gonna do this. Easton Cowan has 10 points. Okay. Okay, he's got to take a drink. There must be vodka in that cup. Nicholas Waugh 10 points. We're at 20. Okay. Dakota Joshua is 9. We are now at 29. Marcelli also has 9. So what does that mean, Dan? Already, we already have more points than Mitch Marner. We already have. Yes, we do. We have 10, 20, 29, 38. So we're at 38 points.
But
Troy Stetcher, Dan, I'm not even done yet, you noob. Troy Stetcher has 5 points.
Oh, come on.
He's a new player. Troy Stetcher has 5 points. So now we're up to 43.
But you got most of those guys in
Dakota Mermis has 1 point. We're at 44. So I have 44 points. By the way, Matthew Knies is also on pace for the same amount of points as Mitch Marner this year, and he is $4 million cheaper. Actually, $6 million cheaper.
What I'm saying is you could have had Mitch Marner plus most of those guys.
No, you couldn't have, Dan. It's a salary cap world.
Okay, I get that. Mitch Marner's $12 million. You add all those guys together, it equals more than $12 million.
Actually, it actually doesn't. Easton Cowan's minimum. Nicholas Waugh's 3. Dakota Joshua's 3.
3.5.
So there's 6. Marcelli's around 3. So there's 9. Troy Stetcher's league minimum. So now, okay, so you can have Marner, all those guys, and lose Matthew Knies, who is on pace for the same amount of points as Mitch Marner, but he's also more physical. Dan, I'm sorry, you are clearly wrong. You are so wrong that you don't even know how to make this argument anymore.
You're the one that's wrong.
I'm not wrong. You cannot have Mitch Marner and Matthew Knies.
$5 million in cap space without Brandon Carlo, who's injured. There was like $10 million.
But Dan, Brandon Carlo comes back. Brandon
nothing with $3 million.
Remember, it's a different system now.
You can do it.
No, it's not, because it's a different system now. Or you have to be under the cap in playoff time. So you can't just pretend that Brandon Carlos wrote on his ankle until the season's over.
You could still do it.
No, you can't. You can't, Dan. The system has changed. You
could
could not afford all. And then number 2, Mitch Marner didn't even want to stay here. You have to make a change. But what I'm getting at, Dan, you have more points with the new guys than you, and then obviously we will get to more comments, but we have more points with the new players than what Mitch Marner has this season.
Okay, but it's one problem with Ferry, Jacob. You can only have 5 people in the ice at once. You can't put Austin Matthews with 18 other guys in the ice at once. You can put Mitch Marner with Matthews on the ice at the same time.
Yeah, and last year Matthews had less goals than what he's on pace for this year. What's your point?
I'm just saying, Jacob,
you have no point. Every point you are making is just being a whiny little B word going on. We don't have Mitch Marner. That's why we like Mitch Marner. I think he's a piece of crap. Suck. We're terrible because we lost one player and replaced it with more points than what he's even getting right now. I ain't gonna poop my Pampers because I'm a little baby. Wah!
I don't really like Mitch Marner.
Right, that is you right now. You are going on and on and on about losing a guy We could even put in a conversation about players who weren't in the lineup because of someone like Mitch Marner to talk about points. Nick Robertson has 12 points in 29 games. So if we add that, we're way above Mitch Marner.
Yeah, but you could have had those guys and Mitch Marner.
No, you couldn't. Dan, there's only 18 roster spots.
I get that.
You're telling me you honestly think Matthew Knies getting less ice time would equal him getting the same amount of points he has this year? You're wrong.
No, because he's on the left, you put Marner on the right.
No, because whenever you have Marner, you never put them on the same line. Knies was then on the Tavares Nylander line, which put up less points than what it does now.
Well, I'm saying I was stupid.
Okay, but that's what they did. Again, you were saying we are losing points because of what we have, yet we have more points than what we lost.
You don't get it, but okay.
No, you don't get it. Austin Matthews is on pace for a better year this year than last season without Mitch Marner. And you have other players who are performing better without Mitch Marner.
But you still
Mitch Marner is not the damn problem. The problem is the bloody system.
You still need to get another top 6 forward.
Not according
to you. Lost Mitch Marner. The problem. I'm saying the problem is you lost a top 6 forward. That's the problem.
No,
we've been saying all night.
Told me to start
do we trade to get a top 6 forward?
Brandon Carlo, move on with your life.
So my point is, we're still missing a top 6 forward.
But Mitch Marner wasn't Mitch. But Dan, according to you, if you're saying Austin Matthews is not elite, then neither's Mitch Marner. So you didn't have a top 6 forward.
Okay, well, Mitch Marner is a joke, but he's still a top 6 forward.
Not according to you. If you're going to say Austin Matthews isn't an elite player anymore, then neither's Mitch Marner.
Even if he's not elite, he's still a top 6 forward.
Not according to your system.
Yeah, he is.
No, he's not. He's on pace for 83 points. That's not an elite player. You're going on, we lost a 100-point guy.
He's not an elite player. He's still a top 6 forward.
But you're acting... Okay, I agree that
Brock Nelson's not an elite player. He's still a top 6 forward.
Brock Nelson's not a top 6 forward on this team.
No, he's not. Top 6 forward.
Brock Nelson's not a top 6 forward on this team. No, he's not. He's a third-line player in Toronto. For what you're trying to build this team to be. He'd be a third-line player. What I'm getting at, Dan, you whine and whine it's because you lost Mitch Marner and you didn't replace his point total, but you have more points than what Marner has currently. Total. I do care about the point total. Points equal goals.
It's about the power play time.
Okay, let's look at how many power play points Marner has this year then, Mr. Dan. Since according to you, that's a huge factor.
Vegas.
Marner has 8 power play points. Yippee.
Okay, where's the least power play points?
At least power play sucks. It was special teams was bad last year too. Power play was inconsistent last year. What's your point?
But it's not as bad as what it is now.
It's not much. It's actually not much better, Dan. It's pretty poop. Like if we actually look. So. I don't know why I try to find that stat so hard. Oh, here we go. The Leafs power play is down 4%.
Okay, that's 4%.
That's not enough to be winning and winning. If you got
a couple more power play goals, you would have won a couple more games, and there's your 4 points. You would have been in a playoff spot. Boom.
No.
Yeah.
Sure, we'd be in a playoff spot and getting our ass kicked first round again. It's completely irrelevant what you're even talking about. So let's just get some comments here. I spilled my coffee this morning. I blame Marner for leaving the Leafs 6-7. I agree with me in Toronto here. I agree with me in Toronto, and this is basically what Dan and you and other Leaf fans are doing. Because you guys are going on because we lost Marner, but Marner was the problem, not the solution.
Marner was the problem. I'm not saying it's a Marner. I'm just saying you left Marner walking in, replace him with anything.
You did replace him because you built a team with depth versus top end talent.
Well, obviously, depth is useless.
It's not useless. They have more points than Marner does.
Oh my god,
I'm right. And Key would never leave unless driving in the dark and getting lost. Don't drive in the dark. Yes, Matthews is on Team USA right now. That's not even a question, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
That's like saying...
America doesn't have that many good players.
That's like asking if Sidney Crosby is going to be on Team Canada this year because he doesn't have as many points as he did 10 years ago.
Well, he's still a point-a-game player.
Matthews is still an elite goal scorer. What's your point?
Yeah.
Explain to me how Dan hates Marner. It would be like me saying I hate Victor. See, I agree with Key. I think Dan secretly loves Marner.
I never liked Marner.
You love him. You want his milk.
I've always been a Nylander fan. Look,
I have an old Marner mini stick from Timmy's. Dan, do you need me to mail it?
What?
I can mail it. Me and a Nathan Rourke mug. Yes! Key coming in clutch. But we have got through all the comments. That was a lot of comments to get through.
So I have a Gasso ass because we had this last night.
Or is it ass? I thought cutting you off, Dan, was quite funny, so that's why I did it. Go ahead with your
going back to last night, since you weren't here for last night's episode, my Gasso ass question was, with the Quinn Hughes trade, is Minnesota not just a playoff contender, a Stanley Cup contender? I say gas.
That is so ass.
Really?
Let's look at Minnesota's lineup.
Basically adding Cale Makar with Kaprizov.
He's not as good as Cale Makar. It's like saying Matthews is as good as McDavid.
And thanks again to Rick from Hamilton Sports Central pointing out that trade to me even before it happened.
Yeah, big shout outs to Rick. Dan, where do you see Stanley Cup contender in this forward group?
Well, Kaprizov.
Who else?
Tarasenko, maybe.
Tarasenko's not that good anymore.
Yeah, okay.
This is so ass that, like, it's like you put poison in my cornflakes. Terrible take. Honestly, I'm going to say this. Quinn Hughes makes them better. I don't know why they made the trade.
But we got great goaltending.
Unless you have good goaltending. I won't go as far as to say great. You have good.
Best in the league right now, goaltending.
With like zero playoff success.
Yeah.
Look, I feel Minnesota, if they make another trade to bring in an Alex Tuck type guy, another top six forward, then maybe. Because right now you have two really good forwards in Kaprizov and Boldy. Right. And the rest of them are just mediocre.
Yeah.
Key is saying gas, though. Minnesota's close. Might be their missing piece. So Key's on your side, Dan. I'm still saying ass. Me and Toronto's just making fun of you, which I always appreciate that. You need to come to terms and get over the grieving. Marner is gone. He is a memory now.
I'm happy he's gone. I just wish we replaced him with something.
Apparently, I missed a comment from Adam. Oh, no. I got to find it.
Sounds like Jacob.
Guys, there's been a lot of comments. Oh, next time we talk, I'll explain what I mean by the Quebec hockey comment. We'll have to have Adam on very soon. So we got to talk about, we got to do our hockey. We got to do our Olympic roster predictions. I want to do Canada and US for sure.
Do all the team. Well, not all of them. But
yeah, we're not doing every team. No, we're not. That's gas or ass. Lane has a gas or ass. Lane, put that gas or ass in the comment section, which I think you actually did about Austin Matthews, which I still feel he is on Team USA.
The gas or ass. I say, what is it? Gas or ass? He's on or off?
Yeah. Would you put Austin Matthews on Team USA?
Yes, I would.
So would I. He's an elite goal scorer. We've already had this conversation in my opinion.
Yeah, okay.
And Lane, I'm just bugging you. We all love Lane Dashko. Like, I would marry him if he would accept it. But he has a girlfriend. Wow, Dan got it right. He usually sings that song whenever someone talks about a funeral, which is very confusing.
I get those mixed up. What song is for a funeral?
There's no music for funeral.
Well, it should be. I said that.
I guess you could play Dead or Alive by Bon Jovi. I don't know. But in other news, Montreal now has points in back-to-back games.
Yeah.
I think that Flower goaltender they brought up is
Flower
is interesting. Yeah. I think they need to make a trade for someone else. Anthony Stolarz. But
he didn't really stand a chance at overtime goal.
I'm saying screw it. Let's trade Anthony Stolarz for Patrick Laine.
Yeah, that's a top six forward problem fixed.
You can have Laine and Nylander, the worst back-checking line in Leaf history. I think everyone would marry Lane if they could. I agree, Adam. Like, Rock, paper, scissors. Who would win between the two of you? Well, let's find out. Dan, you ready?
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors. When I say shoot, give me your symbol. Okay, you ready?
Walk,
Rock, paper,
paper, scissors.
shoot. Okay, well, Dan won round one. Let's go round two. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Okay, Dan wins.
Hey.
There you go, me in Toronto. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound to save Austin Matthews from the Leafs. Anyway, Montreal. Let's actually do a quick little NHL roundup and see what's going on before we move on to some CFL. Because Dan and Lane did talk about a lot of great stuff yesterday, but there was some CFL news they didn't get a chance to get to that I want to talk about today.
Well, we're just saving it for you, bud.
So Panthers beat the Stars 4-0. I feel that was a big win for the Panthers, something they really needed.
Yeah.
Brad Marchand with the 3-point night.
Oh, he's been clutch this year. Wow.
Imagine if Boston just kept Brad Marchand. They'd probably be winning the division right now.
Oh, 100%.
Like, Brad Marchand
great.
having a great year.
Because he only got what, second round pick for him or something? It wasn't even much of got for him.
Third round pick.
Like, what a stupid trade.
Detroit beat the Blackhawks 4-0.
Wow.
So that's not very good for Chicago.
They were just starting to turn things around.
Now remember, though, no Connor Bedard in the lineup.
Oh, he is injured, eh?
You miss an elite player.
Yeah.
Wow, you don't look as good. Alex DeBrincat with a nice 3-point night. Patty Kane, a goal and an assist. Adam, if you're still here with us, I know you're going to be hearing a lot about that on Monday from Maximilian. Avalanche are beating the Predators, currently 4-1 with 2 minutes left in the third, so that's a done deal, basically. Man, Nashville, they've improved a little bit up to 12-14-4, but still not very good. Colorado, 22-2-7.
Crazy.
Only 2 games this year where they would at least got a point. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's nuts.
I still think the Leafs should maybe make a move for Steven Stamkos, or maybe we try to bring back Ryan O'Reilly with Craig Berube, because he is a Craig Berube type player.
Don't get he did coach him back in St. Louis days.
Flames and Kings are tied at 1.
Oh, interesting.
Flames, they kind of got to try to get going soon, or they got to...
No, I think our game means more in LA, but they're trying to keep up in the playoffs there.
Yeah, but I also feel for Calgary, like, they kind of got to... I think Calgary's got to determine before the new year if they want to blow up. Or
they have a blow up. That team
or hear me out, Dan, or if they feel like they're getting somewhere, they just need to build more around it. You know what? Call me crazy. I have a take for, I'm going to actually, a spontaneous little bit of a gas or ass. Not me, but that's okay. Yeah, or is it ass? Yeah, or is it ass? The Toronto Maple Leafs should take a gamble. And if they can get him with a reduced contract, trade for Jonathan Huberdeau.
Oh my gosh, that is so ass.
Why?
That's a horrible thing to do.
Wilder's saying I'm crazy. Maybe I am.
Yeah, you are crazy. That's
Calgary.
Terrible. I agree with Wilder there 100%. That's terrible.
But hear me out on
why. That's Marjorie, sir. Mackenzie Weaver, sir. There's a couple. Adam Quappa. I would love to see Adam Quappa come over to Toronto.
That doesn't fix anything. Hear me out, Dan. Hear me out. So Jonathan Huberdeau had his best year in Florida.
Yeah.
Of 115 points.
Right.
85 assists.
Yeah.
A pure playmaker.
Yeah.
I will argue an elite playmaker. Yep. Even in Calgary, he had 40 assists in 22-23, 40 assists in 23-24, 34 in 24-25. Okay? Who does he have to pass to in Calgary?
Nobody.
Absolutely nobody. I wonder what would happen if we put him with an elite goal scorer again. What would happen?
Nothing.
I honestly feel in Toronto, if you can get him for let's say Calgary eats 30% of the salary.
Probably more than that. They pay $10.5 million.
So the cap's going up next year. Who cares?
What's Huberdeau worth? Maybe $6 million at max.
If I can trade Brandon Carlo and Max Domi and a draft,
Oh my gosh, that'd be a horrible trade.
would be a great trade. Jonathan
I would maybe
Huberdeau.
trade a 7th-round pick for him.
Jonathan Huberdeau has 15 points in 27 games this year. It's not terrible.
Oh my gosh, Jacob, I'm sorry.
Well, let's go to the comments here. Adam, gas.
It's time you go to bed.
Wilder, I am not a glue fan. Would not like to work at the glue factory.
Oh, he's totally sniffing glue.
Boo! Or sorry, he ages like cheese as a player. Well, I like to say instead of aging like fine wine, someone ages like milk. But I still feel Jonathan Huberdeau could be good somewhere else. Gas, $1.40 gas. I got gas in the reserve the other day for 96 cents a liter. So
pretty amazing.
Beat that, me in Toronto. But look, hear me. I actually know what.
A 91 premium, bro.
Hear me out on this night, and I think this could be interesting. So, the year Huberdeau was great was 21-22.
Yeah.
So, stats 21-22 season. Okay. Well, the NHL website it does let me go back years. This is exciting. So this was the year where Sam Reinhart did score 33 and Barkov scored 39. Anthony Duclair scored 31. Okay.
Yeah.
While playing with Jonathan Huberdeau. Mm-hmm. So let's remember those stats. Okay. Barkov had 39 goals in 67 games, 88 points when Huberdeau was there. Yeah. Reinhart 33 goals in 78 games. Let's go to the next year. Barkov only scored 23 goals the next year. Okay.
They got Matthew Tkachuk though.
Yeah, Matthew Tkachuk scored 40. But Barkov was down to 23. Duclair was gone. You only had...
There's no way you can save this comment. It's complete ass.
No, I can save this comment. Florida's goal scoring went down when Jonathan Huberdeau left.
And they won 2 Stanley Cups. Next.
I'm not saying that trading Huberdeau for Tkachuk was a bad decision for Florida. It was a bad decision for Calgary because Huberdeau had nobody to pass it to. If you put him in and bring in the right system and put him with an elite goal scorer like Austin Matthews, I actually think, Dan, you can't. We've already established.
Calgary would have to eat a minimum 40% of the salary, minimum.
I don't agree.
Jonathan Huberdeau is a $6 million player.
I don't agree with you.
When you're on quack.
I think Jonathan Huberdeau on a team with players that can actually shoot the damn puck. Calgary is the lowest scoring team in the league. A playmaker's not going to do very well there.
I get that.
They're a pure defensive built team. It's like if I put Connor McDavid in goalie and then complain he's not getting 100 points anymore. Now, I mean, the only interesting thing is too, and as Wilder said, Calgary not dealing, they would want Knies, they need defensemen, which is where I think you can move Brandon Carlo. But I think they'd love a guy like Max Domi because Calgary loves mediocre bottom 6 forwards.
I'm not okay giving up those 2 guys, so someone is useless.
But he's not useless, Dan. He's been a 115-point player at one point.
Like 5 years ago.
When was the last time Ovechkin scored 60-plus goals? You still think he's the greatest goal scorer in the NHL?
He is the greatest goal scorer in the NHL.
History, not currently.
Okay. But he's still good.
Yeah, Jonathan Huberdeau is still a top 6 forward that you need. That you can actually acquire. Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
How much you want to bet? If the Leafs got Huberdeau, I seriously think Matthews' production would skyrocket. Because it is a true playmaker.
I don't agree. No, I'm sorry.
I am sorry, me in Toronto, you need 94 fruitcake muffin lover. But 94 octane is expensive. I got my cartooned on 91 for that reason, and Dan made fun of me. And then I made fun of him.
My car's on 94, so I know the pain.
But my car's still faster.
Yeah, okay. My car can turn.
So can mine. That's why it has a steering wheel.
You know what I mean? I can think wide waste track. Yours would be great on drag strip, not a waste track.
But yeah, it's kind of a take that I still have.
Terrible.
And
Absolutely
unfortunately, I
terrible.
don't think it would happen, but I'd love to see it happen just so I could prove Dan wrong.
Absolutely terrible.
But before we sign off, I do want to get into some CFL news.
Yes.
Oh, my can turn to Dan. I have no idea what you're trying to say, Adam. I'm sorry. I think Adam's sniffing the same glue that I might be on. But Davis Alexander, it's interesting. So we just signed the Montreal Alouettes, re-signed there on another 1-year extension. He said the only way he will ever leave Montreal is if he gets an NFL opportunity.
Well, I guess.
So, because apparently, like, he's not a coach. He's making less than Cody Fajardo is
Really?
for next year. Cody Fajardo re-signed a guaranteed $400,000 a year.
Wow.
Edmonton really believes in Cody Fajardo.
I do.
The Toronto Argonauts the Toronto Argonauts have also decided to fire their defensive co-coordinators and bring in Greg Quick, former defensive coordinator away from the Montreal Alouettes. I really like
it, Jacob, we're just sticking with one versus doing the calls.
Yeah, which I never liked the co-defensive coordinators. I know it worked for them when they beat Winnipeg in the Grey Cup, but I think this is a smart decision. I thought the defense in Toronto was a major problem. Yeah, Greg Quick is a very smart man. He did work for the Argos in the past. He's been with Montreal as a defensive specialist and team assistant since 2021. Was there for both their Grey Cup finales. Yes. One time they won, one they didn't. I really like this move. He's really known for his aggressive attacking style, and he wants to bring a similar philosophy to Toronto, is what he told the media. So I really, really like this move by the Toronto Argonauts. I think this is a way to try to get this defense better. And I also wonder, too, with Darnell Sankey wanting to leave, being released by Montreal, I mean, I don't know how they could afford Judge, McManus, and Sankey, and I don't think they're getting rid of Judge or McManus. Well, McManus is he could be a free agent, but I do think the Argos will get that deal done. Oh, yeah. But I think the Argos, we're going to see a very different defense in Toronto.
I would have to play Serezna back.
Serezna is a free agent, so who knows?
He didn't do much at Edmonton last year.
No, it's interesting. Bo Levi Mitchell as well. They were talking to him about his contract extension. And he did say that he kind of is taking retirement year by year, even though we did sign a 2-year deal. So even though he signed a 2-year deal, he's not saying he's going to finish that contract out, which I thought is bit of an interesting comment.
A 2-year deal last year?
This year. He just signed it.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
But he still said he's going to take it year by year.
Interesting.
And yeah, we already mentioned about the Argos firing co-defensive coordinator Jason Shivers.
Yep.
The Toronto Argonauts did also re-sign Adam Gilliman, which is, I think, is a really nice signing, really good special teams player.
Yeah, for sure.
That's kind of the CFL news. The big one just being about the Argonauts moving on from their defensive coordinator and bringing in a new one and no more.
The Argos just signed another player too. I can't think of his name. College.
Yeah, another guy from college. Not really super noticeable.
We haven't seen the off-season CFL heat up in full gear quite yet, but it's just starting to kick off. Cody Fajardo was the big one.
Yeah, we're gonna go over. We're gonna do an episode of all the top pending free agents. I'm gonna give my list.
For sure, yeah.
But also, sorry, the BC Lions did also re-sign fullback Riley Pickett to a 2-year extension. I think that's a good move for the BC Lions.
Nice.
Keon Hatcher a couple days ago was taken off the free agency when the BC Lions re-signed him to a multi-year extension.
2-year again, wow.
There's been a lot going on now. But yeah, we talked about a couple of these. Jamal Peters, I was kind of hoping was maybe going to leave Hamilton and come back to Toronto. He did re-sign with the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
But he re-signed, eh?
Interesting. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Brady Oliveira still is not re-signed in Winnipeg.
That's right, yeah.
Free agency only about 2 months away in the CFL, which, if anyone who doesn't know, the CFL free agency is probably the craziest free agency and when it comes to player movement.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if you saw too, the Hamilton Tiger Cats got some new ownership with the Angelito family.
No.
Very wealthy family in the Hamilton Burlington region. I've actually met the man. Very nice man. I
Wow.
shot his car collection for work at my full-time gig. It was really cool.
Oh, is that the
Wow
horsepower
show.
grads car show? Something
Yes.
with the hospital? Yes. Yeah, that's
Horsepower
great.
for hospital. Yes.
Yeah. So I wonder if that's going to make it easier to get a new stadium name because I still don't have a name for a stadium.
You do wonder if maybe that's part of what they're trying to do there. Absolutely.
Yeah. We need Wick to answer those questions. We should have Wick on the show talk about the new ownership.
I know it's interesting too. I don't know if you read
Elaine,
about the Rough Riders saying that basically when they sold out of the Grey Cup hats in under an hour, Grey Cup championship.
Yeah,
They said they basically sold a hat every 18 seconds.
It's crazy. It's awesome to see.
I still can't believe Lloyd Christmas and say that you're saying there's a chance. There's always a chance. So you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah, Christmas was a good player for sure.
I don't know if you saw too, but Henry Burris, good old Smiling Hank, has been named acting head coach for the Florida A&M and the college football realm. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of movement going on in the Canadian Football League and for Canadian players, including Curtis Rourke, Nathan Rourke's younger brother. He's been working out with the 49ers, so we'll see if that turns into anything. There's a lot of interesting news in the CFL as well. I know it's a bit of a rapid fire of everything going on, but I kind of wanted to touch base on all that because, hey, it's a fun time to be a CFL fan right now. Well, and a lot of CFL players are starting to get worked out too, right? So we could be seeing some guys potentially make it into the NFL.
And if you want us to talk about different leagues or different sports or different teams, you got our email, your bottom of the screen, email us, and we can always do more things, right? Look, here's some big news coming soon and some big new things happening here on the decks.
Absolutely. I don't know if you saw, but unfortunately Team Canada suffered a really surprising overtime loss to Mexico. In the flag football.
Oh, flag football. Okay, yeah.
The Team Canada's region over the international football was short-lived, unfortunately. Really surprisingly, losing 41-34 to Team Mexico in Mexico City. It was a real surprise loss for Team Canada.
Wow.
But
look at kicker Montreal Wets. He's I think Mexico's building up some good football players.
I think they are too.
That's interesting.
But no, there's certainly a lot going on in the CFL and football right now. Quick recap, I guess, since we're talking football, we may as well quickly look ahead to some NFL games tomorrow.
Super Sunday, getting very close to the playoffs. KC looks out of it, which is sweet to say.
Well, we've started the week very strange with the Falcons winning a thriller against the Buccaneers, 29-28.
Yeah, that was a surprise, eh?
Sunday, we have a do-or-die game for the Bengals as they take on the Ravens. Joe Burrow is 8-1 as a starter over the last 2 seasons when he's healthy. Burrow, I mean, you feel for the Bengals because you really feel if Joe Burrow didn't get injured that this team's probably a Super Bowl contender. 100%. Eagles versus the Raiders, that's not what I'm overly excited for. Same with Cardinals, Texans might be interesting, but I think the Cardinals are cooked. Yeah. Chiefs and Chargers, must-win game for the Chiefs. I think the Bills
Chargers will win.
Bills versus the Patriots here. I think this is the Bills' last chance to try to win the division.
That's a big game. Holy
cow. Win that game for the Bills. We got the Jets versus the Jags, Commanders versus Giants. I'm very curious about this Browns versus Bears because Shedeur Sanders has been named the starter for the rest of the year, and I really want to see his progression.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm curious about that one. Panthers versus Saints. I mean, look, the Panthers are surprisingly right in a playoff spot. They're actually in the driver's seat right now with the Bucs losing this week.
Yeah, who had to have a bingo cards beginning of the year, right?
Bryce Young. Hey, you know what? Sometimes you got to let players develop, right? And he's starting to get going, starting to cook. Must-win game for the Lions, but they got to beat the Rams.
Yeah.
Rams are 10-3, Lions are 8-5. But that's a must-win for Detroit. 100%. That's going to be a tough game, right? So there's a lot of really good games on the docket. Hi, Dan. How are you feeling about Phillip Rivers getting the start?
Phillip Rivers? Wow, that's
the The 44-year-old wonder.
I know. What happened?
He's playing out of retirement.
Good for him.
Cam Newton's very upset about it.
What?
You should have been chosen. I have a nice weenus. Wah.
What are you talking about?
Cam Newton said that he thought he should have been called instead of Phillip Rivers.
Well, I think if there was a chance, right? You're kind of do or die at this point. Maybe so try something different.
It's a must-win game for the Colts, and they're facing a tough Seahawks team. I'm assuming the Colts are going to try to run the ball a lot.
Yeah, I would think so.
Considering the only thing that's interesting, apparently the Rivers was coaching a high school team, and they use a very similar offensive playbook to what the Colts do, which is surprising.
Interesting, huh?
And then we also have the Packers versus Broncos, Titans versus 49ers, Vikings and Cowboys. There's another game. Both teams need a must-win.
Yeah.
And to close off the week, we have on the Monday nighter, we have the Dolphins versus the Steelers. Steelers are in jeopardy of missing the playoffs. Dan's in jeopardy of having to dress up like a clown because Aaron Rodgers might not get to 10 wins. Wait a minute. The Steelers are 7-6. How many games do the Steelers have left?
4.
4. So they got to win 3 of their next 4 for Dan to avoid wearing somewhat of a clown suit. Hopefully Dan will be wearing a clown suit while wearing a BC Lions Nathan Rourke hat on top and an Austin Matthews autograph stick for when he gets 70 goals next year. With Jonathan Huberdeau putting up 120 assists beside him.
Funny.
But
very funny.
Steelers basically got to win out.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
And you know what? Don't count out these Dolphins. They've been good of late.
They have been. Yeah.
Miami's up to 6-7.
Yes,
and you know what? They've drastically improved, right? Like you look at Miami, okay, they smoked the Jets, they beat the Dolphins, they beat the Commanders, they beat the Bills. They haven't lost since October 30th where they got destroyed by the Ravens. But then the week before that, they beat the Falcons, then lost to the Browns, then lost to the Chargers. So like, yeah, but it's like it's interesting to see the way the last 6-7 weeks they've started to turn their season around. I don't think they'll make the playoffs by any means, although if they win out they could actually do it if I'm mathing correctly. I don't know. Dan's just looking straight into the sweet abyss. You guys should, the issue with doing watch-alongs, Mr. Adam, is we can't show the game on the screen. I mean, if you guys want us to do like some live stuff during some sports, I actually wouldn't mind doing it for the NFL. We could just chat and have this box score up. That wouldn't totally bug me for NFL. I wouldn't want to do it for hockey, but I'd be down to try it for NFL.
Yeah, Lane's been talking about fast ever since he joined the Dex, right? 6-7.
But you know what, guys? We have been live for an hour and 51 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm out of drink. So I think on that bombshell, it's time for us to wrap up the show for the evening. But oh wait, there's a comment I missed here.
Yes.
We are screwed with the Leafs.
Oh no. I agree with you though.
I have a sound effect.
Yeah, I know. It's bad.
Hop on the train to Union Station and go to the golf course. I don't know. I don't think the season sleeps, but me and Toronto need sleep. Dan, will you go tuck him in?
Yeah. Good night, me in Toronto.
I'll be the one to tuck you in at night.
We'll be talking.
Guarantee you won't find no podcast better than we.
That's right.
But thank you very much, everyone, for joining us at the Analyst Desk.
It's midnight. We're another day now.
I could not get through the throw without Dan interrupting. Dan has continued to keep that. But thank you for joining us at the desk. Thank you to all the commenters, all the likes, comments, and shares. And interaction. We always appreciate it. I also want to thank everyone for getting us up to 70 subscribers on YouTube. Look at all them subscribers. We really appreciate that.
On Facebook.
And over 130 followers on Facebook as well. So we appreciate all the love at the desk.
Yeah.
But thank you very much for joining us at the Analyst Desk, where every day feels like game day. I'm the self-proclaimed sports analyst, joined by Mr. More for Your Money and
Woo!
our lovely friends in the comments. Thank you very much, everyone, and we'll be back ASAP.
Bye-bye.
Have a good night, everyone. Good morning, whatever it is in your time zone. We'll see you on the flip side. Bye-bye.
Bye.
6-7.